Strike! Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
Nice move here. Hot dogs, get your hot dogs here.
What's up, guys? Abraham drinking live from Manor Ballpark.
Yeah, special pop-up show, little Browns pregame. I guess not just any Browns game. Doesn't get much better than that Browns Steelers rivalry, right?
Oh yeah, storied epic rivalry. I didn't look up a ton about the rivalry. Obviously, it's an old, bitter rivalry. Familiarity breeds contempt. We've always in the same division, always close. I do know we've met twice in the playoffs this century, or 1-1, so I guess it won't be this year, but I'm looking forward to that rubber match. Remember, we blew that big lead, the Kelly Holcomb Browns in the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, we got the best of them, the COVID year, 2020, that playoff game.
I'll never forget that game.
The snap flooded over their head, and we were up 7-0 with like 8 seconds in.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, so, like I said.
Oh, yeah, I guess the Browns haven't had a regular season win there since the Tim Couch era, so hopefully that changes today.
Yeah, man. I think I remember in 2003 watching Couch beat them in Pittsburgh. So, like I said, I didn't look it up, but it might have been about that long since we won there. It'd be a nice feat to sweep them in what's otherwise been obviously a somewhat disappointing season. I would love that. Ulysses, I bet a lot of Browns fans are making the trip there.
Oh, yeah.
That's common.
I noticed the weather's cleared up. It's now nice out in the 50s. Nice waking up to that today. So definitely an easier commute. I hope a lot of Browns fans make the trip down.
Right, yeah, maybe not quite as many as in like better, more winning record times, but yeah, the Steelers fans aren't shy about invading our stadium, and we usually return the favor, so let's hope. I mean, even if, let's say, it can be a 20%, pushing 25% Browns fans, that's a good showing for a road crowd if a lot of people come out for this. That might be wishful thinking, but that'd be cool, man.
Yeah, I got to say, I mean, waking up, usually I get excited on Sundays for Browns games, but with it being the Browns Steelers, just a little extra excited. I woke up this morning, I couldn't even go back to sleep, man. I'm just anxious, ready for the game.
Yeah, that's it.
Little background. So in Pittsburgh, it's in the lower 50s. It's a nicer day. I did see a picture from Heinz Field, H.A.S.R Stadium now. Yeah, it's nice weather for football there. Both teams are going to be able to throw the ball, run the ball. Steelers are a 6.5-point favorite. The over-under was 43.5. It has now moved to 42.5. Like I said, nice forecast. Should be good football weather. We'll see what Jameis Winston can do.
Yeah. Couple quick programming notes. Abraham drinking, as usual. General content show, 6 p.m. tomorrow. And let's see. I don't know quite about our college playoff show yet, but I do know we're having a party, and that'll be Saturday at Westall's at 6 p.m., and that's a Toys for Tot benefit party.
Toys for Tots benefit. Either guests can bring either a $20 donation or a new unwrapped toy, and that's an important point to remember. It has to be new and unwrapped. Mm-hmm. And that will get you in the door. Should get it. At least one complimentary shot, but I'm sure there'll be drink specials. The bar looks very nice, decorated for Christmas. Should be a great evening.
Yeah, lovely decor. They really nailed it for Halloween, and then I saw some pictures. They did it just as much justice, only obviously the Christmas theme instead of the Halloween theme. There'll be some ugly Christmas sweaters, some sharp-dressed people. It should be a good time.
Yeah, and it's
nice
for a good cause,
for a good cause as well.
Yeah.
So, we're looking forward to that. That is 6 days from now. The 14th at Westall, 6 p.m. is the Abraham Drinking Toys for Tots Christmas party event. And we got that out of the way, and we are back to the Browns.
This game, as far as the rivalry goes, this one has had some chatter. So Pickens said, George Pickens, Steelers receiver, earlier in the week, he was asked if he was going to say hi to Greg Newsome before the game. And he said he did not know who that was.
Oh, come on.
After
That's
the two
rough.
of them got into a scuffle on the Hail Mary play at the end of the game in Cleveland, which was in the snow globe.
Yeah, and then Pickens blamed the snow as if they were the
Yeah.
only ones dealing with the elements. That
Right.
obviously
And,
wasn't amused by that.
in professionally, Newsome did reply and say that, that he was more worried about his team and his team winning and not going to let George Pickens get in his head or fuel his fire. I thought Newsome handled himself pretty professionally about that. And, luckily for him, it was announced today that George Pickens will not be playing due to a hamstring injury. So, for somebody who was a chatterbox during the week, he was talking for no reason because he ain't playing. So.
Yep. That's,
They'll put a sock in it.
yeah, we're happy to miss him. That's
Yeah.
not the best receiving core anyway. and now that
he'll
we're missing Pickens,
be in a cheerleader role today. So
there's no sugarcoating the fact, Ulysses. We're 3-9. And Pittsburgh has considerably more wins than that. But
yeah, I believe they're atop the AFC North.
yep, and they still have a Christmas game with the Chiefs and some key division games left other than this one, so they control their own destiny. Some teams like us could hopefully take them down a notch and play spoilers, and then with matches
and
against the
I'm
Chiefs
sure
and
the
stuff, they have
Browns
room for advancement as well.
I'm sure the Browns would love to play spoiler today. Would
Yeah.
love it.
So, boy, it's going to be a crazy game. It's hard to beat them in their house. But as I was saying, with Pickens sitting out, our sturdy secondary versus their very sketchy Pickens-less receiving core, that's at least one aspect of the game where we can feel like we have an advantage there. And then another juicy matchup on the other side, secondary wideout, is Pittsburgh's young stud corner Joey Porter Jr. versus Jerry Jeudy, coming off that breakout awesome revenge game.
Yeah. Now is Tillman playing today or is he out?
I didn't have much time to look at the injury report. Hopefully, I didn't hear any news or updates break in, so I'm pretty optimistic on Tillman. But I did not take a look to confirm that. I know that now that we're on the other side of noon, most of the actives and inactives should be listed. I just didn't have a whole lot of right before the show injury prep research time. I know we're
It's
relatively
reported
healthy.
he's out today.
Tillman is out today,
So I believe he was in concussion protocol. So hope he
each
gets.
wideout room's a bit dinged
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, but we still got Judy. We still got Elijah Moore.
Sure, they're missing hands down their number one receiver, whereas Tillman's a complimentary guy for us. So I would say these wideout injuries still ultimately favor us,
But,
even though we're both banged up.
Yeah, and like I said, with it being in the lower 50s and sunny, it'll be good weather. Both teams will be able to pass the ball. It's not going to be like the blizzard game in Cleveland. I did have a key to the game that I think is going to be a key for the Browns to win, and that's going to be to get the running game going. I really think that we got to get away from having Winston throw the ball almost 50 times. He's just too bound to turn over the ball. I hope Nick Chubb and our offensive line can get a running game going today. That will hopefully cut down on the turnovers. I know last week against the Broncos, there was a bad turnover down by the goal line there. There were 2 pick sixes against Denver. We cannot have that against the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers unfortunately lead the NFL. One, of course, pretty sad one. One of the stats I did have time to look up is that the Steelers 25 forced turnovers. Obviously,
they got T.J. Watt.
Left to
they
go.
got T.J. Watt. They got a tough defense.
Fitzpatrick, Porter Jr., some real ball hawking playmaker types that can.
They're going to find a way to make you fumble the ball. They're going to find ways to get interceptions.
Right.
And that's kind of been Winston's kryptonite is those interceptions. So hopefully he can hold on to the ball because, we can't give the Steelers free points. Well, I know they're not free, but we can't give their defense points.
Yeah, we got to try and find a way, to call a good game on offense and make that Steelers aggression work for us. They'll go for the ball, they'll gamble, maybe a timely reverse or a misdirection or even just like an improbable read where you get them thinking you're going to one guy and then you check down to another guy. Something to sort of exploit their aggressiveness rather than be a victim of it, I think, could help us today.
And Najee Harris has been having a pretty solid season. I believe, FanDuel actually locked his rushing prop today. So I think Vegas is expecting him to run all over the Browns. So,
yeah, locked is not good. That usually means numbers through the roof, generally.
Yeah.
Sometimes injuries an explanation, or sometimes it just means they think they're going to run roughshod. So, oh boy.
So
I did not know that until just
I
now.
I hope the Browns defense can, that's the thing with our season kind of being a wash. Sometimes it seems like the Browns defense kind of give up on some plays this season. So hopefully they hang in there and smile and be in that spoiler role, that rivalry role, and hopefully the Browns defense can get it done.
Yeah. Going back to wanting to stay away from 50 pass attempts a game, we got to stay in the game, let game script dictate to run. Because unfortunately, we do tend to fall in love with the pass. So let's keep this close and not, fall behind 10-0 and panic and have to go to the pass earlier than we have to.
If whoever has more rushing yards might be the team that wins the game.
Yeah, very often in an AFC North game in December. That's definitely a common take.
I think we do have some comments.
We do have some comments. Good. Let's see here. Jump up and see how good I am at reading sideways. Yeah, we got George clowning on us. And George likes the set. Thank you, George. We are trying to make it look as good as we can. We appreciate that, sir.
Now, I don't want to misquote myself on what I said earlier in the week on H.A.S.R Sports Report, but I do think the Steelers win today. I don't want to be a homer, and I don't want to go back on what I said. I think the Steelers get it done today. I think they're just going to be a little too good. Hopefully, I'm wrong.
Yeah, it can't always be sunshine and rainbows and predictably homerability. I as well said on the sports report we'd lose by about a touchdown. I still think so. Like I said, I'd love to see a fake punt or some clever play calling or a fortunate turnover for the Browns turn the tide. But yeah, I tentatively think we'll lose by about a touchdown. I think we'll need a fluky good play or two to win, which is entirely possible. But yeah, usually when you're counting on that, you're not going to predict your team to win. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. We're sort of in agreement there. Let's see. Yeah, we only had the 3-man panel. I think the George had Browns in a narrow victory, and then we each had the Steelers taking that. So yeah, we're tempering expectations. That's 1/3 of the panel picking the Browns.
But definitely, with the pregame hype, like I said, I saw a picture of the stadium. Weather looks good there. Sunny like here. I did see Winston rolling into the game towards the locker room in the tunnel. I'll say he must have went to church this morning because he had a real focused look on his face. So hopefully he's on a mission today.
All right. Well, yeah, that would be good. See how long Kevin Max.
Hopefully we get TDs and not INTs.
Yeah, that's it. Man, yeah, he's a gunslinger and he's a gambler for better or worse. So let's hope today he finds those tight windows and can avoid the turnovers.
I'm definitely excited. Win or lose, I'm excited. Like I said, there's just something a little extra element to when the Browns play, and when we're playing the Steelers, a little extra element of excitement.
Yeah. It's good. It's gonna be a good game, man. I have a feeling. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's see. Someone will have to step up to a degree with Tillman out. Judy can't do it all. Whether it's more underneath passes or one of our lesser-known wideouts getting something going.
They got Woods off the practice squad. I saw him make some nice catches. And of course that kid, Jamari Thrash.
Robert Woods off the practice
I
squad?
believe his name's Michael.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like you said, yeah, one of those younger guys got to make some plays. I think Judy's going to be pretty well covered. So hopefully Winston can find another open man. And like I said, I think the key to the game is to get the running game going. So we'll see. Definitely excited about it.
Yeah, the line's been playing a lot better the last few weeks. I've been seeing some good videos people are sending me of pancake blocks and stuff. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can keep trending that way and get a good running game going.
I did, like I mentioned in the beginning, the over/under is 42.5. I thought that looks a little low. I think it'll be closer. It'll be closer to 50 points combined with the nicer weather and the Browns and the Steelers have both been putting up higher point totals lately. I believe the Steelers had 44 points against the Bengals last week in a win. So, and of course the Browns and Denver had a high-scoring game. So if it follows the trend, nicer, and with it being nicer weather and Winston throwing the ball around, I do think this game's going to go over.
Well,
What do you think, Tito?
You said it's 42.5 is
Yeah.
what it sits at now. Boy, I want to say that's low.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a product of my environment after watching all those 70-point college football games yesterday.
Oh,
But
all
either
right.
way, yeah, I think that's a little low. You said over, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say over's pretty good. I would say 45-ish. If I was just waking up, rolling out of bed, guessing it'd be 45. So, the book says if you think it'll be 45, and then you find out it's 42.5, then you go with the over. So yeah, I would like the over there, especially with obviously the weather's not going to hold us back. You said you saw that picture of the field, and in addition to seeing the weather report, it's not as if the weather is going to hinder any sort of point scoring or aerial attack. I was thinking circle back on final football thoughts and get into baseball for a little bit, or what do you think? Or did you have any other Brown stuff right now?
We can talk some baseball.
And then that way we end the show closer to kickoff with another quick Browns hype bit there, and I don't know what's on your mind for baseball. I just had a couple things.
I did
take the lead.
Did see Bieber re-signed here.
Yeah, Bieber did re-sign, and he
he
turned down more money from some other teams.
Yeah, which that's great, but and I can actually see where he's coming from for that, because look, he has the coach of the year, he has a great team culture. He's got a really good chance to win here. I mean, look how far we went.
Yeah.
And the best fans there are, of course.
Oh, absolutely. And the structure of the deal, too, just logistically, he has it's his option. You can debate how favorable the year 2 option is, but it's his option. So if for some reason, and we expect it to work out, we think it'll be great, but I think that ultimately clinched it and let him leave some money on the table with some other teams, including the Red Sox. Now, I don't want to be immature, but Red Sox, he didn't want you. But but either way, he's got that nice favorable option for year 2, and I think if he was on the fence, that clinched it. And boy, I think, Ulysses, we were all just very anxious for some good news. Yusei Kikuchi signed with the Angels last week. And
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw that, and that bummed me out. Because he was sort of like our great hope as far as impactful, but realistic, affordable free agents. And so, when the Angels signed him, it was like, hey, not cool, man. Because, it's never like we were going to sign a $20 million guy. But, he was a tad cheaper than that, I believe. And there was actually some substantial, legitimate rumors we might get him. But that's neither here nor there. He went to the Angels, so it was just like, oh, boy, are we going to get any good news this offseason? So we're all just sort of nervous and hoping we get some good news. And now we get great news with the Bieber re-signing. Now, I wanted to address really quick, inevitably, a couple people. This year, the money's about the same with Bieber and Boyd. And we had people like, well, why didn't we just pay Boyd? And, Bieber's younger. He's accomplished more. Like, if it was one or the other, like, I could see someone maybe, like, dipping a toe in the water in that argument. But, yeah, you got to roll with Bieber. Yeah.
And he was off to a heck of a start.
Right, no disrespect to Matt Boyd, but, like, if you're going to put him next to Matt Boyd, there's no reason to say we should pay Matt Boyd just because he'll be ready to
and hopefully when he comes back, he looks like vintage Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Tommy John can have mixed results, but
it's crazy. This Tommy John anymore, yes, it has mixed results. Some people are never the same, but more and more you hear some people, it in a way makes them better. Or at least evolve and like have a more
I don't even want to say that he's throwing too hard, or that's the thing. These guys are all chasing velocity and spin, and there's been a lot of arm injuries in the league lately. And hopefully for him, I think it's inevitable that a lot of these pitchers eventually, sometime in college, high school, or pros in this case, have to end up getting it, but I hope it goes okay for him and he can return to form.
Yeah. And I did see a note with the Bieber signing, just so everyone knows, the 40-man roster is relatively set right now, which is good. Obviously, that means your team is on sturdy, solid ground. You never want, 37 people on your 40 this time of year, like, oh, who the hell are we even bringing to camp? So I just didn't want to add that quick note.
They're shopping Naylor for a trade.
Yeah, the Naylor rumors have been going. I haven't heard any specific good ones. This is nothing recent. This is stuff I've talked about going back to even 6-8 weeks ago. Like I said, I don't really have any recent juicy gossip. There keeps being some buzz about the Mariners. The Mariners don't really have a first baseman. They have a prospect, but they don't know if he's ready. The Mariners have plenty of young pitching. So, like I said, this is nothing fresh. This is no kind of this is heating up, or I read this yesterday, but there's just been sort of this stagnant, whether it be Logan Gilbert or someone else, Mariners rumors. I guess the Cubs like him.
Well, he had a little bit not as good as the season last year as he did the year before. He finished with over a 300 average 2 years ago. Last year, I believe his average was only in the 240s. So. But we'll see what happens. If they do trade him, I hope they get something.
Yeah. It's certainly not as if his trade stock's at an all-time high, but we should get some decent return for him. I hate speculating about trades, but I would say it's about 2/3 that he is going to move. I will miss him. I'm already sort of speaking of him in the past tense because 2/3 is a pretty clear mandate. I think he's going somewhere. But, it's almost got to be done. Now that Kikuchi went to the Angels, we're not paying a pitcher. We could use some pitching. So it's just simple deductive reasoning. If we're not...
So you think it's more likely that we're going to trade?
Absolutely, because if we're not going to pay a pitcher, but we're determined to still add a pitcher, what is left? Trading an asset for a pitcher, and that probably means Naylor, as far as, because we need someone who will bring back some return. Mm-hmm. So that's where I see the wind blowing. I would say, and I'm Mr. Try not to buy into trade rumors guy, so, if I say it's 2/3, I think it's pretty likely that he's going somewhere. So let's just hope that we don't rush it. We shop him good. And
hopefully we get a good return.
Yeah, we've got some good talent evaluators. And, power sells, Ulysses. So let's hope that we have a good 3 suitors or so and drive up the price a little bit and get ourselves a nice package for him.
I don't know how many homers Naylor finished with.
31.
Oh,
and he did hit that 100 ribby benchmark. So, yeah.
All right.
The batting average wasn't as good. People have been, nitpicking his fitness.
Like you said, power sells.
Yeah, but power sells. And just as far as, wow factor benchmarks, he hit those 30 dingers. He hit that 100 RBI benchmark. So... like I said, I'm pretty confident,
Well, I remember,
all it takes is a couple of people to drive the price up.
There was a stretch last year where it seemed like he was getting a lot of clutch hits.
Oh yeah, he's clutch.
And now I don't think he had a huge playoff. Mm-hmm. As far as how well he did in the playoffs, that wasn't huge, but I do remember he had some good hits during the season.
And, I like Josh Naylor, man. I do a lot, but, not minding him leaving, it's not as simple as whether you like him or not, because, Manzardo is ready. He plays his position.
He had a good post.
This double-A K.F.A.S. dude. Now, I live right by the Captain Stadium. That's A-ball. And then, Akron's double-A. And then Columbus is next man up. So I follow A-ball and triple-A way more because triple-A is next man up. And I live right by the A-ball stadium. But I guess this K.F.A.S. dude from double-A, who admittedly I know the least about. I got to do more homework about these here Ducks. But this K.F.A.S. dude's a beast. Like, he's not quite ready, but he's, like, getting there. So, right now, the pipeline looks rich at first baseman. Josh Naylor's still here until he's not. Manzardo is ready, and K.F.A.S. is something like ready. And, I feel like we probably have a few things festering at the lower levels, too. So, not that should 100% force our decision-making, but that'll probably factor in,
All right, well, I'm going to check for comments here.
Yeah, go ahead. Your turn. Take the stroll. If I can read sideways, you can. It's annoying, but it's not impossible.
All right. George just says we look good.
Oh, yeah, okay. Again, all right. Thanks, George. I think you mentioned that a couple minutes ago. Yeah, we built the best set we could under short notice. I'm glad the 3 push pins held the main tapestry, and yeah, it looks like we're in there. Willie Adames signed with the San Francisco Giants. Baseball news before we go back to football. 7-year, $182 million deal. So that's kind of crazy. The Giants have been trying to get a $200 or $300 million guy for a few years now, and no one's really taken their money. Matt Chapman was a solid signing, but he wasn't on the mega scale as that. So, hey, he didn't go to the American League. He's a hell of a shortstop. He's a hell of a ball player, and maybe kind of help keep the Dodgers honest. He went to the Dodgers division without going to the Dodgers. So, yeah, not terrible news from, I guess, my corner of the world. Willie Adames getting paid. I know he had a pretty frugal contract, so congratulations going to Willie Adames, going from a team-friendly deal to his 7-year, $182 million deal with the Giants. Dude, crazy stat before we move off him. 14 3-run homers or grand slams last year. That is the most since 1938. I think Jimmy Fox. I know it's the most since 1938.
14?
Yeah, 14 3-run homers or grand slams. Yeah. 5 grand slams is considered an amazing year. So I didn't check the breakdown, but I'm guessing he hit 5 grand slams and 9 3-run homers. That is a lot of clutch game-changing hits.
Yeah, that's the guy you want to come up.
Right, and playing a premium defensive position to boot. So, so that's settled. We're expecting a Soto announcement pretty soon. Probably the Mets, but who knows? Some crazy late rumors about the Dodgers. Is there any substance there, or does just every rumor lead back to the Dodgers? So, you could just sort of take that for whatever it is. I don't really buy that.
Man, I hope you don't go there.
No, he's not, dude. I think that's just something people say to make people mad. No, it can't be. It's it can't be. It's a rumor. Yeah, he ain't going to the Dodgers. I don't think that the Mets is 100% set in stone, but more than likely he'll end up in the Big Apple, whether it's going back to the Yankees or the Mets, and we'll see. Supposedly a decision is nearing, but sometimes they play the game and milk it and say the decision is nearing, and then you still don't hear anything for a few days.
You want to close out with a little football?
Yeah.
Right.
Closing out with a little more football. Yeah, I'm sure we're getting a little closer to kickoff here. And
it's quarter till now.
Oh, boy, yeah. I didn't even have my TV on. Yeah, I got to have the game on within 10 minutes of the game.
In the 4:25 slot, the Bills are playing the Rams. I like the Bills to win that one. I do think that's going to be a close game. Rams are at home. They're a 3.5-point underdog. And then the evening game, Sunday night game, the Chargers play the Chiefs.
I saw, now that evening game, really quick note on the Chargers-Chiefs. As far as the number 1 seed, I believe the Chiefs, 61%, possibly even better, something like 61% to get the number 1 seed in the AFC with a win. Obviously, this new format, only the 1 seed gets a bye. 1 seed's huge. Drops to 33%. The Mighty Chiefs, should they lose tonight, drop to a 33% chance for the 1 seed. So that's huge. You're talking about an almost 2/3 chance to get it versus a 1/3 chance to get it based on this game. Not necessarily the hugest game for the Chargers because they're not necessarily have a realistic chance to catch the Chiefs. everyone says they're like doomed to the 5 seed, even if they go 13-4. But big game for the Chiefs to get the bye, and big game for the Chargers to like not get pushed around by the Chiefs anymore since they lost their last few against them.
Yeah,
so that's kind of my take
that'll
on
be a
that
good
one.
matchup tonight. I think the Chiefs get it done. I know the Chargers have a great defense, but I just don't think the Chargers have quite a good enough receiving core to really go far this year. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs tonight.
Yeah, I would lean towards the Chiefs too. You know, I'm again going back to not going to reverse course. I'm on camera being a Chargers hater, going back to August, and yeah, that looks a little silly now that they're 8-4. But I'm certainly not going to start picking them now that they're playing the mighty Chiefs.
And,
so yeah, I got the Chiefs to win and cover tonight. What else on football, Ulysses?
Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers play the Raiders today at 1 o'clock.
Oh boy, the all-pirate logo game. How's that one going to go?
Well, I got Baker Mayfield winning that game. Buccaneers are 6.5-point favorite at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe the Raiders relax a notch and help their draft positioning. They are technically tied for the first pick. Now, I think the Giants will finish with the worst record and get that first pick. But right now, the Raiders are 2-10, just like the Giants. So that's
yeah,
still
you know, and
up
I
in the air.
kind of, speaking of the draft, you know, I kind of like how the Browns are still kind of contending and not just tanking.
No, I never condone tanking, and especially at a time like this. We haven't had first-round picks in 3 years. We're going to be thrilled. We're going to have a nice pick. Who cares if it's the 6 or the 7 or the 8? You know, like we are going to have a juicy top 10 pick, and there's something to be said for like winning and getting something right on the field.
Maybe we use it for an offensive line.
Right.
So yeah, and
the mock drafts will be heating up in the coming weeks. Believe that.
And then I know there's a lot of mixed thoughts about the QBs in this draft class. I know there's a lot of mixed thoughts. So maybe the Browns should look at getting an offensive lineman.
Yeah, and like I said, as these mock drafts intensify and sharpen in the next few weeks, we can, speculate over
and that's the
who's
thing,
worth it and who we want.
When you're picking 5th, 6th, yeah, there's going to probably be an alignment there for you, for sure, definitely. So good job by the Browns not tanking. Let's go out there today and get that win. And tomorrow night, the Monday Night Football game, you have the lowly Dallas Cowboys at home versus the Bengals.
Now, believe it or not, Ulysses, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't take a deep dive.
I don't think the Cowboys have won a game at home all season.
Really? Okay, well, they're 5-7. I wanted to ask you, if you ask them, they say they're playoff contenders. The NFC... No. Well, the 7th seed in the NFC is a bit more accessible at the moment than the 7th seed in the AFC. I don't think they are. You don't think they're playoff contenders, right? They're just saying the right things in press conferences. Because, 5-7 and resorting to a backup quarterback, they're probably pretty delusional to think they're playoff contenders. And then the Bengals are a game behind them, so the Bengals are kind of in our boat with the sort of lost season type deal.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers, Joe Burrow's been having a heck of a season. I saw a stat. I think he's only thrown 5 picks all year, but a bunch of touchdowns and a bunch of yards, and it put him in the same conversation as Aaron Rodgers back when he was in his prime, Mahomes, Drew Brees. But if you look at the team's record, the Bengals have a bad record. And I know there was that game that they choked against the Chargers, but the Bengals' defense is not what it used to be, and Joe Burrow just doesn't quite have the team around him, and so it's tough to see. I've always liked Joe Burrow, and it's tough to see him having such a good season and his team not getting it done.
Pay your running backs, guys. Not that Joe Mixon's having like an all-world year in Houston, but just in general. These teams
he's having a solid season.
Okay, I haven't really looked, but because these
he's
teams
had a few 100-yard games. I know that.
The Raiders, Jacobs. The Giants, Barkley. The Bengals, Mixon. Didn't want to pay their running backs good money, and they're all regretting it and appreciably worse off than they were last year. Just since you mentioned the draft, we have 1 o'clock. Obviously, none of us will be watching because it's the same as the Browns Steelers, but just to read up on and monitor from afar, huge for draft positioning. the Titans-Jags game, and obviously Mac Jones after that savage hit on Lawrence. So the dreaded Mac Jones versus Will Levis matchup that could have a lot to say about the number one
was that
pick.
was that guy? So you say it was Mac Jones who hit Lawrence?
No, Mac Jones is the backup. He's the kicker. Right. I'm saying Mac Jones is starting for the Jags, and Will Levis is starting for the Titans. Because someone really.
I did see Lawrence was ended up being okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
I hope that guy got suspended.
Yeah, he got 3 games and a stiff fine, so he got a sturdy reprimand. And Lawrence will ultimately be okay. But yeah, that's going to go huge for draft positioning. This Titans-Jags game. I doubt much has changed with changing organizations. I feel like the Titans will leak that one out. Mac Jones was pretty awful in New England, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
Short on reps and preparation, getting thrown into the fire. He'll be pretty awful in Jacksonville. So I have Tennessee winning that one in a game, again, with 0 playoff implications, but could say a lot to shape the top 5 of the draft.
Hey, so I just looking at the standings, the Steelers are 9-3.
Yes, and again, like I said, with still key division games left and that Christmas Day showdown against the Chiefs, they really control their own destiny. Like I said, they can get upset and fall, or they can win these key games and rise. So there's still a lot.
That's a pretty impressive record, though.
It is an impressive record.
And as far as the Browns, I feel like Deshaun Watson just kind of made our season a wash.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Selfish. It would have been nice if he would have gotten hurt, say, even 2 weeks earlier when there still would have been some hope. But what are you going to do? That's like.
Yeah, but I think, one thing about football is, when you start out bad, it's so hard to turn it around.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. Every game has its own set of challenges, and you paint yourself into a corner where you absolutely have to rattle off 5 out of 6, 6 out of 7.
I know the Commanders are having a heck of a season. But I remember, we lost to the Cowboys, the Giants, the Commanders. But, I remember when the season started, you looked at the Browns' schedule, and you saw in the front of it, you saw a lot of winnable games.
Right.
And, and so I thought the Browns were going to win 9 or 10 games this season. Now that's a pipe dream. And it sucks to say that, but, it's just when you start out bad, it's just not good.
One more quick note, and then we'll wrap it up. Shout out, even though this one's from Manor Ballpark, to our relatively new official sponsor, $2. We wanted to make sure we mentioned the upcoming shows, which we did, and our sponsor. So that's out of the way. Kickoff's approaching. Ulysses, final words on this Browns situation, or really anything?
I just want to say go Browns, go famous Jameis. Don't throw it to the defender. Stay tuned to our channel. We are going to be having a college football special show, possibly a collaboration with Even in Cleveland. That's our buddies Josh, Martin, and Dan. Make sure you guys check them out too. Those college football playoffs are expanded this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun football to watch. So stay tuned for our college football playoff show.
Yeah. Really looking forward to the college football playoff show. There's a couple of juicy subplots. The whole field's been announced literally while we were doing the show, so I'm looking forward to signing off and seeing the details. There was some debate over, obviously, the last bubble team, over whether Penn State or Texas would be higher, the 2 title game losers. That's going to be fun to look at. And go Browns. Let's do something spicy on special teams. Fake a punt or field goal. Eke this thing out. Abraham Drinkin, signing off.
All right, signing off.
Steer right! Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
Baseball here. And